What a huge road win by the Toronto Raptors as they hang on to beat the Philadelphia 76ers 119-107 at Wells Fargo Center in Philly. And my goodness. And you know what? This is what happens when you start on time. Mike Babcock always says it. Start on time, fellas. The Raptors, and you go back to the last game against the Clippers. You start on time, you're in the driver's seat, and then you control pace the rest of the way. What the 76ers did is what the Raptors had been doing for the longest time. Get into a giant deficit and try and climb out of it. And couldn't. Let's break this thing down. First quarter, Raptors can't miss a shot. They knock down 40, and you're up by 12, 40-28 at the end of the first quarter. You're feeling fantastic. Second quarter rolls around, you hold them to only 27, and you score 32 more. The Raptors score 72 points in the first half. They can't miss a shot. They're up by, what is it now? 17 at the half? They're feeling great. Problem arrives, though, in the third quarter. Serge Ibaka gets in some foul trouble. He gets his fourth foul. Nick Nurse says, okay, I'm going to keep him out there for a little bit longer, then take him out. Problem, next play down the floor, Ibaka gets a foul against him. He's got 5 already in the third quarter, and Joel Embiid is just going to go to work against Moose. This might not go well. And that is what happened. You know, I mean, but I'm really shocked. I'm really shocked Brett Brown did not leave Joel Embiid there for the remainder of the third quarter. I understand he does have to get some rest in there somewhere, but with Serge Ibaka off the floor, Embiid could go to work, and they take him off the floor at some point. The Raptors get their run back up. At one point, it was like a 10-point game, I think it was, and they take him off, and then when he comes back in, it's a 16, 18-point game 3 minutes later. Like, that's a big difference. However, the Raptors, even when he comes back into the game, are able to continue to build on that, and they were actually +1 in the third quarter. They didn't play a great third quarter, but they found a way to be +1. They won all three quarters to start. Great job, and you're up by 18 going into the fourth quarter. Should be mathematical. It was nothing even close to that. The 76ers at one point get it down to 7 with 7 minutes left. However, Raptor fans, we got used to seeing this with the Raptors. Again, they make that big run, but can they sustain it? And the Raptors, they counter-punched amazingly. Ibaka comes back into the game, and yes, they struggled a little bit to get their feet under them again because Ibaka's been sitting now for a bit. If you combine the time, probably a full quarter. And Embiid's on a roll. He can't miss a shot. And Ibaka and the Raptors in the latter minutes of the game found a way to get the ball out of Joel Embiid's hand and said, here, somebody else beat us. And they couldn't. And the Raptors were able to pull away. And yeah, they were -6 in the fourth quarter, but it was a 7-point game. You win by 12. It was a great job by the Raptors. And guys, the Raptors won this game. I've been so used to the team losing lately. It's crazy. Kawhi Leonard shot 3 of 11, and he had 24 points. He had 17 free throw attempts. He was 16 of 17. Money from the line. He was fantastic, and he didn't make his shots. How many? He had quite a few steals. He had 3 steals in the game today. He was a +2 on the floor. You know, Kawhi Leonard didn't have his shot, yet the team won the game. But you know why? The Raptors had 3 guys with 20+. Ibaka only played 27 minutes because he was in foul trouble, but he had 20 points and 10 rebounds. Ibaka's been money. And if I'm not mistaken, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight double-doubles for Serge Ibaka. The only player to get more than that, Chris Bosh, who had 8. Ibaka has been playing some of the, if not the best basketball of his career. He shot 10 of 15 from the field today, guys. He was incredible, and when he was out there, the Raptors were a +24. Tells you what he was doing against Joel Embiid. Kyle Lowry in his hometown of Philly, knocking down threes like crazy. He had 20 in the game. Yeah, he shot 7 of 16, but he was 5 of 9 from 3. He had a couple steals. He was a +13 on the floor. I love what we saw from Kyle. Like I said, Kawhi had 24. Siakam, just every day in the office for Pascal. 16 points, 6 boards in 30 minutes. And we can't sit here and not talk about Norman Powell. We just can't. And I really wanted to see him play more. And Van Vliet had 25 minutes and only 3 points and a 1 of 4 shooting. He was a plus 10 on the floor, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. But Norman Powell had 14 points in 16 minutes on 5 of 6 shooting, 3 of 4 from the line, 1 of 2 from 3. He had a steal in the game. He was a plus 4. Norman Powell is playing some amazing basketball. And it's not just on the offensive end. He's making plays in really every which way to help your team win. And I want to have him as a bigger role. You did see him there in the later parts of the fourth quarter. And I love that we saw that. But I want to see more of it. Again, sorry, excuse me, guys. As much as the first quarter was great, and the Raptors did score 72 points, you didn't score 50. They didn't score 50 in the second half. That's not good. Now, you could arguably say it's because Ibaka left the floor, and Moose was a minus 14, by the way, if you guys want to, compare the two and how they did against Joel Embiid. There you go. But I think, with the trade deadline looming, and by the next Raptor game on Thursday, trade deadline will be come and gone. So if this is the last time I'm talking to you guys before trade deadline, if you guys do not listen to the podcast, I want another shooter. I think we can all agree. Wesley Matthews, Etuan Moore, guys like that. Mirotic as well, even though you probably have to give up a pretty penny for Mirotic, but we need something. I love this team. I love what we got going on here, and I know we just beat a really good Philadelphia team in Philly, and they've only lost 6 times, or maybe it's 6 now, but I think they're 22-5, I think it is, or something like that, on home court. It's ridiculous. And the Raptors went in there, and they dominated the first half, and they contained the team the rest of the way to get the victory. But this team does need a shooter. Danny Green's great and all, but he didn't really do much today. 22 minutes, he had a couple points, missed 1 3, took 2 shots, made 1 of them. I mean, wasn't really a huge impact, but you want a guy like Wesley Matthews who's going to take the threes and make the threes. Wayne Ellington is another one, right? I don't know. You guys pick the guy you want. Let me know in the comments below any trade proposal you have for that kind of stuff. Realistically, of course. That's all she wrote, guys. You know what? DeLon Wright had 8 points, 5 assists as well, but he shot 1 of 7. Greg Monroe, he was minus 14, but he did give you 10 points and 7 boards in 18 minutes on 5 of 8 shooting. So you got to give him that. And with Jonas Valanciunas' return looming for the Toronto Raptors, this was a big one. If JV was out there, you would assume it would have been a much bigger win by the Raptors. But you just want him healthy. And JV, I'm hoping he'll suit up before the All-Star break. 4 games remaining, and I got to say all 4 are very winnable games. You have the Atlanta Hawks on Thursday night. On Saturday, you have the Knicks in New York. Both games are on the road, but both teams are not very good. The Knicks are the worst team in the NBA. They have, 10 wins this year? 10-43. You should beat them. Atlanta's 18-35. You should beat them. And then you have Brooklyn at home. So they've been playing great basketball, obviously, as we all know. They've lost 3 straight games, actually, but they're still a team that's fighting for that playoff spot. And then you play the Wizards at home to close out the I want to say informal first half of the season, but heck, we're almost 60 games in, so I don't know about that. But there's the 4 games, guys, before the All-Star break. Any expectations you guys have for those 4 games, let me know in the comments below. Who's my MVP in today's game? Serge Ibaka. You could say Kyle Lowry. He had a great game. You could say Kawhi Leonard as well. You could say Pascal Siakam. Mine is Serge Ibaka because of the fact that Joel Embiid was a minus 9 on the floor. But imagine if Ibaka was not in foul trouble and he was glued to Embiid almost the entire game. Ibaka, when he was out there, was a plus 24. He did an amazing job against Joel Embiid, plus he put up a double-double on great shooting. He's my MVP in today's game. Who's yours? Let me know in the comments below, guys. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video and you guys enjoyed the victory there today, smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below, guys. What'd you think of the game? What'd you think of the video? Like I said earlier, who's your MVP? What are your expectations for this 4-game stretch before the All-Star break? And like I said, any trade proposals you have, because we're less than 48 hours away from trade deadline, and Masai is definitely on the phones. We heard about Conley and Gasol there earlier today. I And we've heard about Anthony Davis, we've heard about Bradley Beal, we've heard about all this crazy things going on. But will the Raptors actually make a move is the question moving forward. I think we all know they need a shooter. But will they go out there and put a deal together to get one? We're going to have to wait and see how it all plays out, all right? So, Evan and I will talk to you guys podcast edition. It was initially going to be tomorrow. Change of plans. It's going to be Thursday afternoon. Links are in the description for the podcast channel, guys, and for the podcast itself on iTunes. Twitter is also down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. And I will talk to you guys Leafs edition as the Buds look for their third straight victory tomorrow night at home, Scotiabank Arena, taking on the Ottawa Senators. Craig Anderson versus Freddie Anderson. 7:30 puck drop there before the Leafs hit the road for like 4 or 5 games. You want to end this mini 3-game home stretch off on a three-game win streak, if you want to call it that. And that's for the Raptors, guys. Like we said, they have 4 games remaining before the All-Star break. But first up, Thursday night in Atlanta, taking on the Atlanta Hawks. 7:30 tip-off. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Talk to you guys then.